Hello, today I'm playing Spooky's House of Jump Scares Karamari Hospital. This is the DLC that came out for the game on the 30th of December, and it is a alternate universe game. So you see in the top right hand corner, we are on room 995. Instead, what's going to happen is we plummet down into the abyss, and that's how we enter the mysterious Karamari Hospital. The base game is completely free, and I do recommend playing it. It's a really cool game. This one, however, you pay about £3.50, and according to the store description, it's about 45 minutes to an hour long. I really like this loading screen. It's very Resident Evil. The whole black screen with only the door which slowly opens. I have actually completed this game already. I've completed it a few times because I've had so much trouble recording for this game. It's absolutely been shafting me. It's something to do with the game's native resolution being different from my computer's resolution, and it causes so many problems, but I've finally been able to fix it. As I've already completed this game, I am actually playing on New Game Plus.
I don't know how you got all the way down here. I didn't even remember there were rooms down here. Well, good luck.
The little girl Spooky's wearing a nurse outfit. If you're playing this game for the first time, she's wearing her normal clothes. But because I've already completed it, she's wearing her outfit. And also, you've got this little blue thing, which doesn't appear the first time you play this game. And it summons a little carrot. I don't know if that blue thing is a little glitch or not. Whether it's not actually meant to be seen by the player. I really like how Spooky's eating the noodles or whatever it is. It really helps build up the cutesy anime feel to her. Very sharp contrast to how everything in this game wants to kill you. A little fog effect on the screen. That's because it's a very Silent Hill-esque sort of environment. See how some of the doors are even broken, another influence from Silent Hill. Like that game series, you will be entering alternate worlds, which are a lot more darker and bloodied than the one we're experiencing at the moment. You do start off with the axe, but the axe doesn't actually do anything. We will find a new weapon, and it's like a magic sword. I believe it's called the Flaming Sword of Evil. Whether that's a true name or a fan name, I have absolutely no idea. One problem I've had with this game is that there's an awful lot of backtracking. We will go up and down the stairs so much throughout the course of the game. I really like this because it's a 3D model, unlike every other creature in the main game, which is like a 2D sprite in a way. Similar to if you've ever played the original Doom games or the old Wolfenstein games, where every single pickup and every single corpse of an enemy is always looking at you from the exact same angle. According to the Steam forums, this game isn't actually completed just yet. Room 1000 doesn't really exist. The devs have said that they are going to make even more DLC for this game, with this one, Karamari Hospital, being the very first. One thing I like about this DLC is that it introduces 5 brand new enemies, but this also creates a little bit of a problem because you see them, they blow their load, and that's it, they're done. You never see them again throughout the entire course of the game, and it's a shame that these enemies are very one-shot. Oh, and you save the game by going to the drinking fountain. This is the only save point you will ever see in the DLC, so be sure to go to it after every major point. I really like how the music just suddenly stops at this moment. It really creates a feeling of dread in horror games, when the sound immediately goes without any warning. And not only do you not know what to expect, but also it means that every sound you hear, whether it's background humming or little creaks and screeches, become even more evident to the player, and it creates a stronger emphasis on them. I always like how in this picture the woman is wearing a face mask for protection, even though the mutant evil monstrosity is like 5 centimeters away from her face. This painting doesn't exist the first time you'll play through this game, and here's why. It's the Flaming Sword of Evil. With this weapon you can actually kill practically all the enemies in the game. This here, the emblem, is what will enable us to head down into the basement. Unfortunately, a few of these rooms are practically pointless. They don't actually offer anything, and it doesn't help that you see how all of these doors are unmarked. There's no recognition for what the importance of each room is, because this room is very important because you need it for the emblem. So the only hints we have are the paintings. There we are, maintenance key. Now we need to go back into the basement. Unfortunately, there is a bit too much backtracking than I would have liked. Electronically sealed. Yeah, so we need to go to the basement. We'll unseal all the locks by turning off the power generator, and then we'll finally be able to proceed further into the game. First though, I want to show you a little scare. There's 4 cubicle doors here. Normally what happens is you can open these 3 and you can flush them. This door, however, remains closed. You cannot open it the first time you play. Oh, and by the way, dude must have passed a fucking kidney stone and a half taking the piss here. We can open this door now that we're in New Game Plus. I think I can hit him. If you don't hit him, all that happens is it comes up and disappears, and that's it. It's a shame that you can't actually see anything in these mirrors, that they're just little white blocks essentially. Because I really like it in horror games with how mirrors can show you an alternate world. Such as in Silent Hill, particularly the 3rd game, there's a scene where you enter a room which has a huge mirror on one side. It's essentially an entire wall. But in the mirror, you see a reflection of yourself, and very weird things are happening on the other side. Eventually, if you keep watching, your character starts to get all bloodied up and fucked up. It creates a really nasty scene because eventually the evil that's going on pours into the real world, and that creates a really awesome horror scene. It's one of my favourite horror scenes of all time, in fact. We've turned off the power so everything's a little bit more darker. The reason we had to turn it off is because of those electronic locks, so we've got to head back up and we'll encounter the first true enemy of the game. And there he is. It's a bit weird how he's introduced to us. At first he doesn't actually do anything. The police officer just stands there. Even if you hit him, he doesn't do anything. So what you want to do is you leave the room, you re-enter, and now he'll chase you. This guy's quite a disappointment because his movement speed is actually slower than the player can walk. You go through that stairs and that's it. He's never a problem after that. He's pure eye candy in a way. If you've ever played the original game, every creature is a 2D sprite. Like a flat screen, similar to Wolfenstein and Doom as mentioned earlier. These guys though are 3D models. Every time you kill one of them, a little weird event happens like that. These rooms are all heavily blooded. They weren't blooded before when the power was working. So we want to check every one of them because there's 2 unique things. There's the chair. We won't sit on the chair just yet. You want to save the game because there's a game over event associated with it. I like this room not because of what you see but what you hear. I think the loud, confusing sounds really help to create a nice effect of horror to this, because you don't know where it's coming from, you don't know what it's saying, and it gives you a feeling that you have no idea what's going on. Unfortunately, that's all that happens with that room. It doesn't actually do anything other than that. I remember in the game Slender the Arrival, one of the more effective horror moments was near the very end of the game where you listen to a voice recording, during which you can hear out these incredibly loud sounds. It sounds almost like screaming, but you hear a few mixes into the sound as well that you're not really sure what they are. And I really like how it gets louder. Because it's louder, it feels as if there's something right there up against you. This chair, I think, is a Twin Peaks reference. If you ever watched that TV show, there's an alternate world called the Black Lodge, and the main character sits on a red chair. This will lead us to a game over event. What you need to do is you just sit here for a long time. You notice all of these little sparkles start to appear. If we look at the floor, you can see there's now a small blood trail leading from me to the door that wasn't there before. As time goes on, this is going to get even more intense until it becomes completely impossible to ignore. I don't know what these sparkles actually represent, whether it's like ash or something, whether the place may have burnt down. The place is entirely abandoned. Even Spooky herself comments that she forgot that this area even exists, so we have no idea how long that the residents of this place have been around. Looking at it like this, it's almost like your character's entering a dream. This little guy likes to make a few appearances and give the player a few little scares. Now, he's not going to do anything special, he's just going to show up, disappear, show up again, and he's just going to keep repeating. See, now the room is getting a lot darker than it was before. This scary face is still appearing. I'm pretty sure this guy is one of the specimens from the original game. He's like, I think he's a floating head, but he's meant to be the most dangerous one of the lot. The guy stopped appearing now, so in a second we'll stand up. And there's us. It's a little silhouette of what we are. What you need to do is you attack him. And now take a seat. And it gives you a game over screen, where you wake up in a wasteland and everything just, well, annihilates you essentially. That is the only unique game over screen in the entire game. Whenever every other monster kills you, it just gives you this generic "your soul wanders an endless maze." And in the original game, every single monster that kills you gives you a different game over screen, different picture or a little animation, and it tells you something about what's happening, such as when your character gets devoured by the woman and she's like holding your eaten corpse inside her body. That was one of the grimmest scenes of the game. I always like the appearance of Spooky herself, how it is such a major contrast to everything else that is going on in the game. I really wish more genres of games would blend that combination of contrasting ideas, such as cute and scary. The original game is very innocent in how the enemies you see start off as being very cute cardboard cutouts, such as the little carrot stick figure at the very beginning. But as time goes on, you've actually started seeing very threatening monsters. The cardboard cutouts that you see begin to change, and they're suddenly no longer just cute faces. People or other monsters have drawn faces and very nasty images onto the cutouts. Spooky herself starts going on about how surprised she is that you're still alive, but she does it in a blatantly fake way, where you can tell she is obviously lying to you. Now here's the emblem. You pick it up and every single slab disappears, or not the slab, every single corpse on the slabs go. You go through this door and we will meet the second true enemy of the game. This is the body bag. We will go forward and he will make an appearance. There he is. You can just about see him slightly. You can't run past him, because if you try it, it's an invisible wall. So all you have to do is you run. Just keep legging it. Notice how we have infinite sprint during this scene. I never noticed the bodies come up before. Now we kill him. If you go through that door, that's it. It never appears again after that. That's a shame. So similar to the police officer, how you see an enemy for about 10-20 seconds and that's it. Never again do you ever have any sort of encounters with them. And you did in the main game. There's the exit room. That's where the game will finally end for us. Unfortunately, we can't go there just yet. We have to descend into the basement.
This place is much bigger than I thought it would be. It's very interesting. Well, keep going, recruit, and I'm sure you'll make it out. Maybe.
Absolutely adore her nurse outfit. It's so cute. Even though I hate Spooky because she's a bitch. Right, we need to find the emblem room now. What you need to do is you have to look for the paintings. Here we are. If you look at the tree painting and its opposite. If you've ever played a Silent Hill game before, this should be immediately familiar to you. These stairs heading down into the abyss. I know in Silent Hill 1, the main character Harry, when he is heading down into the Green Line antique shop, he descends downstairs very similar to this. James Sunderland in Silent Hill 2 does it also when he enters, I think it's the Historical Society. Also in Silent Hill Origins, I think it is, when Travis, someone's liver on the floor there. I think his name was Travis, where he also has to descend these stairs heading down into the abyss. I really like how it creates the image that you're heading into the centre of the earth in a way. Even though it's just stairs, the fact that there's so many of them and they're all heading permanently down makes it think as if you're entering, almost as if it's a gateway to another world, like you're entering hell itself. In a few fictions, such as in episodes of Simpsons and Futurama, hell is depicted as being in the centre of the earth because of it being so hot. See, it says it feels warm. In the original game it feels cold for your character instead. When it comes to things like mysteries at the centre of the earth and the possibility of hell being there, I know H.P. Lovecraft said that the most mysteries actually come from the bottom of the ocean itself. He said that in the 1920s, and it does bring some truth to it, because we have since reached a point where we can enter other planets entirely. We can visit the moon and what have you, but we can't go to the bottom of our ocean due to the intense pressure. This guy is a very strange dude. All you do is, as soon as you leave the room, he doesn't come back, so we're gonna kill him. He does respawn every so often though, and always in this room. There's another little Easter egg that's about to occur. This is an endless corridor. If you've ever played the original game before, this scene will be slightly familiar to you, where one of the game over events is an endless corridor. I don't actually know what happens here. I have not seen it. I've seen it in the original game, but never here. I know there's going to be a scare though, because obviously, you know, Spooky's house of jump scares, right? I hate how long it is because it destroys any sort of timing you may have. The scare may come at any moment, in a minute's time, in 5 seconds time, right now, so really helps to put the player on edge. Notice all the sound is gone. The absence of sound is a really horrible thing because it makes the emphasis on all the noises around you. Fucking hell, I'm just waiting for something to happen. I know it will, and it'll fucking shit me up as well. I've got the flaming sword of evil, but I don't actually know if it will help me. I can see something in the distance. There's some sort of light. It's a woman. And either I'm getting closer to her or she's getting closer to me. No, she's moving away from me, but not fast enough. Oh, fucking hell. Don't get up before Saturday, but I thought every day was Wednesday, as says the poster at the start of the game. Well, that was well, at least partly expected. I've noticed you can't sprint as you head down these stairs, and so it's a very gradual descent into hell, or wherever it is we're going. I do wonder, how deep into the planet are we? That elevator crashed us down mega hard. We're looking for a key, and this will activate a new enemy for us. If you played the original, you'll know of a puppet. Very similar to the Weeping Angels from Doctor Who, or SCP-173 from SCP Containment Breach. What he does is he only goes after you when you're not looking at him, so if you have eye contact, he won't go after you. The original game is a puppet that does that. In this one, it's someone else entirely. It looks like the main character from Sanatorium, if you've ever played that old point and click adventure game. So we know he's here somewhere. I hate that scream. And we killed him. No, that's the endless corridor, fuck that. That guy who we just killed, he is an overpowered version of the puppet. That wasn't meant to happen. Fucking hell, what the hell was that gurgling noise? That enemy we just fought, every time you enter a room, he spawns immediately behind you. And it's really unfair because the puppet does the same thing as well. Oh, it was you, little bastard. As soon as you spawn, he can immediately hit you. That can actually lock you in a permadeath sort of state, where no matter what you do, he will always be able to kill you if you enter a room at low health. I absolutely hate backtracking because I always get lost, I can never recall layouts. Yes, we did it! And now we can ascend back up to normality. Or as normal as Spooky's House of Jump Scares can be. Look at the character's hand, what the hell is that? Oh, that's not his hand, that's the sword hilt. I always thought that was his hand holding the blade. What we need to do is enter the isolation room, and this will introduce us to the last enemy of the game. The last enemy is called the Cow. I'm not sure if that's a fan name for him or if it's a real name. I just know it from the wiki. When you see the cow, essentially you are in a labyrinth and you just have to leg it. I don't actually like the cow enemy because it's so easy to get lost in his environment. You can tell this was a place of fun and joy and love. This is definitely Silent Hill with the whole rusted metal grates. All you have to do is you just keep running, try to escape from the cow if you can. I say if you can because like that, it blocks you off. Oh shit. I don't actually like this scene all that much because it's so easy to take a wrong turn and you hit a dead end like I just did. He absolutely does you in then. Do have to be careful, but there's so few ways to do so. And now we're just gonna kill him. Killed every single enemy in the game now. And here was the exit anyway. In this room there is a special event that occurs in New Game Plus. Pick up the key. And there's this note which isn't here the first time you play. You activate the note and then you look at this. There's someone there. Looks like a demon child, you can see there's horns there. Can't appear to attack this character however. Let's see if we can get a good look at her. And after that you can leave the room and proceed to the ending of the game. None of the other mirrors appear to show anything special to them. Just that one in the exit room. And you can't go back because the door's broken. Right, we're in the morgue right now, so we've got to head upstairs and then we can go to the exit room. We'll have one last little incident and that is the end of the DLC. It's rather short. The original game is completely free and I do very much recommend it. It can get a little repetitive. It's 1,000 rooms and so obviously there's a lot of copy and pasting at times. But overall I did enjoy it. And I like this as well.
Oh, there you are.
Die!
Hidden things down here. Well, keep going, and we'll see what happens. Yeah. See you later.
Spooky said there are other things to see. That implies New Game Plus that we have just experienced. That's essentially the entirety of the game. What happens now is the credits roll while you walk through this endless labyrinth. I really like the soundtrack, it's very Silent Hill, particularly the second game in the series. I heard from YouTube that if you ever watch Two Best Friends, also known as Super Best Friends, the guy Matt is the one that always wears the skull hat, who was an actual voice actor for this game. I think he plays as one of the demons. I do wish that the monsters had more going for them, such as if the body bag incident was a lot longer. I'd like to see a bigger chase involving him. I would have preferred it if the cow scene didn't have so many ways to get blocked off. The police officer was almost useless other than in appearance. Oh, you see that screaming man, Matt the skeleton? Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's Matt from Two Best Friends. And Spooky's voiced by one of the two creators in this game. I always prefer Spooky's appearances rather than the other monsters. The dialogue with Spooky is always a lot of fun. I think she's got a great appearance going for her, and I particularly like how it completely goes against the horrific monsters you see. So you really don't know what to expect exactly whenever you see her, whether she'll be an obvious enemy or a little bit of a friend, or maybe both. You see there, special thanks, Two Best Friends and a bunch of YouTubers. This was actually made by just two people. You got Akuma Kira there, who would like to thank her wife, parents and her faith, and Psycho Billy, who has a much longer list of people he wants to thank. They said that more DLC would come out, and I definitely will try it out. Very cool. I think that's an absolute piss take right there in memory of Konami. If you've not been keeping up to date with them, essentially Konami have been completely shitting on their entire library of games in the effort of pachinko machines. I really like to see what happens when you reach number 1000 as well. I want to know how the game actually ends, whether Spooky will attempt to hurt you or not. Whilst yes, she always likes to hurt you, she does it in a passive aggressive sort of way. She lures you into scenarios where you can be killed. Anyway, that was Karamari Hospital. Nice game, a bit short. I would have liked the enemies to have a much bigger role considering they are the stars, but it had some good stuff going for it, and I do look forward to seeing what else the game may have to offer if they update the base game or more DLC, so definitely keep an eye out for it. Take care.